Welcome back to Half-A Hot Rods. Today we're working on Missy's 94 Blazer. Same thing as a two-door Tahoe, K1500 pickup, all that kind of stuff. She told me the other day it had a clunk in the front end, so we got to work looking at it. Thought maybe loose ball joints, maybe loose steering parts. None of that seems to be making the noise. There's no real rhyme or reason to when it makes noise. Sometimes it's when the suspension moves, sometimes it's as the wheels are turning, and I got under there and couldn't find any suspension parts that were bad, any steering parts that were making that noise. So let me show you what we actually found. What I did find is this CV boot is blown out. All the grease has gone out of it on the inside, and I think it's making noise. I know it's bad, so yeah, I shouldn't be able to just stick my finger in there and peel that off. And then I think she's just, yeah, that's not good. So we're gonna pull this guy apart and put a new one in. Already in that, 15 seconds of monkeying around, I've got CV grease all over both hands. Okay, so I haven't done one of these on one of these trucks before, but I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to pull this big nut off the end, and then there's bolts around the inside in there, and I'm hoping that I don't have to disconnect ball joints or anything because that's a flat flange on the inside. Let me show you the new one to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the new one. I'm hoping that there will be enough flex in the joints that I can get this away, and then it'll swing out of the way and we can knock this guy out of the hub. Now whether it just slides out of there or not will be another story, because I imagine there's some rust on these splines. So we'll dig in here and see what we see. Hopefully I have a socket big enough for that. This is the biggest socket in my toolbox. Close enough. It's a 36. Might be warm. Let's just see if she's going to move easier. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. We'll take it. And there's a little sensor on the back of the rotor that rides on that CV axle. Let's see if I can get you in there to see it. This guy, but I think it's going to slide right out of that. these little teeth are part of the CV axle. Don't know, do you? No, you don't. Just so you know, the chrome sockets and extensions and universal joints are not intended for impact use. Well, that's not what I was hoping for. That's not what I was hoping for at all. Got some more CV grease. That grease is just everywhere. Try and wipe some of it out of here, but I feel like it's just going to be all over this whole time. That's what I thought. That front axle is going to want to turn. Well, how are we going to hold that in place other than putting the wheel back on it? Hound dog. How are we going to hold this in place without putting the wheel back on it? Hound dog. You got any ideas? Because she just wants to turn now. And that's not what we need. We're putting the wheel back on. Okay, I got the tire back on to hold it. I threw a couple lug nuts in there. Let's see what happens now. If it's still going to turn or not. Let's move that jack before I rip my knuckles open on it. Ouch! Been a lot cooler if these had just come out with the impact. The socket didn't want to quite sit on there flat, so we'll try a wrench. Son of a biscuit. Those aren't left-hand thread, are they? There's a torque spec on those welded. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Oh, moved a little. Probably not enough. There you go. You can't always get it done with strength. Sometimes you need leverage. Problem is, we don't have enough room for the leverage. just try and blow my shoulder out on all of them before I put the cheater pipe on them. Zeus! You weren't trying to sneak out, were you? Zeuser! Where you going, Zeuser? Huh? You don't want to hang out and be a shop dog? Now we can get back to getting those bolts out. Back in there. You can see we rubbed the inside of the outside of the frame a little bit with a tire on full lock. That's because we've got the correct offset but much larger tires. So you want to see how we did that, check out my past video, free OBS Blazer lift. And we've got 35s on this with just cranking the torsion bars and 1-inch block in the back. Zeus, there it is. Found it. You can stop looking. Now returning to our regularly scheduled program. Aha! Loctite. So I'm not real sure when the battery died here, but this CV axle is coming out in pieces. There's the inside piece. It did just slip out like I'd hoped and past the inner part where it goes into the differential. But now this end is stuck between the sway bar link and the shock. So hopefully we'll just zip that sway bar link out. That'll give us enough room to work, but it's hard to say. Heard a guy call this a Swedish nut lathe. I like it. The little guy just doesn't have enough guts. Call in your big brother. This one probably won't fit, right? Get a better viewpoint so I can see that getting rounded off. I don't think it's working, Zeus. Zeus! We're better off taking the shock off. I'd really like to replace that bushing now that I've seen it. Because that can also be making noise. Everything can be making noise. It's an old truck. New plan. The new plan is a larger Swedish nut lathe and vice grips to hold it. Or a yep. No, it is a vice grip. That's the real deal. Those were definitely in a used car when I got it. Did I? Oh, I got it. Yeah, so there's supposed to be a rubber bushing right here on top, just like there is on bottom, or polyurethane, depending on how much money you spent. And she know a stock key. That thing's gone. Surprise. The problem is this bolt goes through a sleeve right here and it's probably full of rust. Otherwise that would just drop right out of there, no problem. And all I'm doing is bringing my pry bar back to me, not really moving that bolt. Well, I guess we'll try removing the shock bolt. See, that should flex enough. Assuming that that's not rusted beyond all possible usefulness. There's some more grease. For those that might not know, it doesn't matter how much grease you put outside your ball joints. Only what you put inside. So this is really not helpful to have it all over the outside, everywhere. And it's not CV axle grease because it's bright red. Somebody said, if I can't get it in, I'll just put it around it. It's fine. Idiot. Hopefully the shock bolt will come out now. The CV axle that's part way out might be in the way. How long is that bolt? It's about that long. Yep, that's not how that's supposed to look. Well, for the next unnecessary problem, the part I ordered off Rock Auto doesn't have this little ring that the old one does, which I believe is for ABS speed sensor. I'm sure it's supposed to be pressed, but I don't have a press. So we'll see if we can tap it off there and then put it on the new one. Well, I looked it up on the interwebs and it looks like this ring should just pry or tap right off. So we're going to try that. Place your bets. Go ahead and comment whether I'm going to break it or not, because I think probably I'm going to break it. But we got it cinched up in the vise that's already busted and wiggles around. It doesn't really hold very good because I've abused it for things you shouldn't. And yeah, let's see what happens. Probably should have like a brass drift, but I don't have one. I put a little PB blaster on that and let it sit a while too. Is it moving or am I moving the axle? See how long I go before I get grease on my face from that. I think the axle's moving. Stop moving. Oh, are we moving? The hammerhead's going to come off. Bigger the hammer, the smaller the problem. Right, Jeff? I think it's moving. That's definitely moving more than it should be. Oh. I think. Or are we just driving it into the vise? Kind of looks like it's moving. Something moved. Some wood in there now. That's probably good for it. Maybe. Oh! Bingo! Yeah, that's not even close. This stuff would be a lot easier if we could get the right parts. So this one's from Rock Auto. I tried to buy locally first. Went to my local, or called my local parts store, ordered the part. They said, we'll have one tomorrow. I went down tomorrow. It wasn't there. The manager says, oh, that's a new guy. He messed up. It'll definitely be here tomorrow. So 2 days after the original order. Okay, no big deal. I've got other cars. Go back the next day. I get in there, and that box looks like it's been through a war. It's destroyed. I open it up, and the new one doesn't look much better than the old one I have. So, because I know I've got to work, I go ahead and order the cheaper one from Rock Auto now, and it gets here and it's wrong. The question is, do I put this on and have an ABS light, a non-functioning ABS, or do I ship it back, go to the parts store, get one that's $20 more, and just say a prayer that maybe it's right? Alright, I'm back from town. I got a different CV axle, also new, remanufactured, rebuilt, and it's got the ABS ring on it. Everything else looks right. They didn't have sway bar end length bushings, so I went out and cut one off the crashed Blazer, and they're not great, but they're not missing, which is the problem with the other ones. So we're gonna go over and see if we can put this thing back together. So I saw stop and warning in big letters. I'll at least take a look at it. Before attempting to install this product, be advised that CV axle has an inboard joint with a female splined coupling. The intermediate stub shaft must be reused. No. Wow. That's a lot of instructions. $2004. I don't need that. Can do it. Come on. There we go. Alright. Probably, since these had Loctite on them, I probably should wire brush them a little bit and put a little more on it. Okay. Cleaned them up a little bit. Found my red Loctite. Here we go. I will torque these to the proper spec. Alright. Put the outer in the washer. Make sure there was no tab or way that it has to be lined up. Alright. We're already lined up in our sensor on the grooves back there. torque. Doesn't make any bad noises, it still rotates. Let's see if we can get our used bushing in here. Oh boy. There we go. Bingo. Click, click, torque. Yep. Alright, I guess we put the wheel back on this hog and see if we fixed anything or just wasted a bunch of time and money. More time than money. Alright, we got tires on. I think I got all the pieces put back together. I'll take her for a test rip and see if we fixed anything. Got a pretty rough driveway and I heard it pretty quickly last time, so ain't see nothing. It's fine. The normal dash and interior rattles, but I'm not. Oh, I should have closed the hood probably. Yeah, we'll have to take care of that. You wait here. That should be better. Buckle up for safety. I don't have an ABS light on, so that's good. Which is what we would have had if I'd have put that other one back in without the ring. I'm not hearing any weird noises, so I think we're going to call it fixed. So all in, we got about $100 in parts. Would have been $70 if the Rock Auto one had worked. But we're about $100 in parts with the CV axle and the can of hand cleaner or engine degreaser, whatever you want to call it. Trying to think if I used anything else. Nope, just some basic hand tools would have done it. The impact makes it nice when you can get it in there. A little bit of red Loctite. That stuff's stupid expensive for the size of the bottle you get, but they'll last you a long, long time. I had some left over from who knows when. So, wasn't too bad of a job. I'm probably total now about 4 hours in, including a trip to town and doing a couple things in the house in the middle, so probably 3 hours. Really, if everything had worked the way it should have, a guy that had never done it before could probably do it in 2 hours. A guy that did them all the time could probably do it in 40 minutes. So, I think we're in pretty good shape. We're going to call this one fixed, and come on, baby. No stinking four-wheel drive. Man, I really did a bad job of parking that. We'll just leave her down here. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Click like, comment, subscribe. If you see something I did that was dumb, tell me. That way I don't do the same dumb thing the next time. I'll do a different dumb thing. Anyway, thanks again for watching. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it.